How many of you exercise at least 3 days a week or even once at all? As Americans, we can see evidence of that there are people out there that don't take care of themselves or have no care in the world whatsoever. And I personally engage in fitness activities at least a minimum of 4 days a week. And I also have read and done some research just to help myself and to further my knowledge. And this is why I feel that I'm the right person to discuss this topic with you guys. The United States' current obesity problems can be turned around by even the simplest tasks and practices. Today I'll delve into the United States health issue of obesity, revealing shocking statistics and what defines obesity issues by our issues with obesity and ways to prevent it. The American people today need to realize that staying in shape and taking care of yourself is the first and foremost important task and goal. The issue of personal health is alarming in the United States. According to Haiti, 2/3 of the Americans are overweight, and this is a ridiculous statistic, and it just screams out at me and tells me that people need to be more educated on the topic, and personally they need to know what they're at risk for if you become overweight and obese. And being overweight is considered when you exceed the height to weight ratio. It's kind of bunk because there's some people who have maybe like a lot of muscle mass, and muscle weighs a lot more and it's way more dense than fat is, so you can be considered overweight too if you look at it in that perspective. But a healthy body composition is defined by, or body composition is defined by percentage of fat to fat-free mass, so like bone and muscle and fluid density. And healthy BMI is how you calculate your body composition. And for men and women, they have different recommendations. If from age 20 to 39, women are supposed to have 21 to 32%, men are supposed to have 8 to 19. And people must remember that you must and maintain this proper BMI, or trouble will come your way. You'll have trouble climbing stairs, you might even walk and start sweating because you're carrying all this extra weight around. And according to the CDC, in 2009, 2.4 million more adults were obese than in the year 2007. More than 15% of adults are obese, and in the United States, over 30% of adults are obese, which is quite alarming. No, it's not very good. And the medical care costs of this obesity problem in the United States are very staggering, and they're quite high. And according to 2008 medical expenses, these costs total about $147 billion. These alarming statistics and large expenses on health care cause of obesity points out to me that something needs to be done. And with the high cost of obesity in the United States, everyone should wake up a little bit and acknowledge that there's several health issues that result from this epidemic, and hold on to and maintain your health. You got to maintain your health. It's very, very important. You got to stay in shape and you got to take care of yourself. Because in this outlandish spending is just a perfect, example of how people in the United States aren't doing it. And we're spending this money on preventable health problems, and it really angers me, and hopefully it makes many people think about that. Leaving the couch for a half hour or even doing a half-hour daily walk is, one step closer to a healthier America. And this needs to be done. There could be many other health issues we could be spending our money on, and find a cure for, which are diseases that aren't even preventable, such as certain cancers. And according to Rush University, obesity has been known to cause type 2 diabetes and osteoarthritis, because people are heavier. It causes joint wear on their knees and ankles, sleep apnea, respiratory problems, and heartburn and depression. All these issues can be prevented, so why are they not? Well, because I think Americans are lazy. You got to get up, people. Come on, let's do it. Costing everybody a lot of money. You're costing yourself a lot of money. You're costing yourself a lot of health issues that you do not want to deal with. Type 2 diabetes is very common. Actually, 80% of the people who have it are obese, which is according to Obesity in America. And this statistic is really an eye-opener, and diabetes is nothing to mess with. It's very, very critical, especially for an overweight person who is inactive. And obesity complicates the management of treatment of type 2 diabetes. So it just makes it's like a double whammy. It just goes back and forth, it just gets worse and worse and worse. And as well as diabetes, there's heart disease. So You get higher blood pressure, you become a victim of a heart attack, which is sudden cardiac death, and why put your family through that, or your loved ones? You don't want to ever have them in the position above you looking down on you on the floor, gasping for air and just grabbing your right or your left arm because you're in so much pain. These unexpected issues and complications can be very detrimental to the loved ones, as I just said. And why put them through that? Your personal health is nothing to joke about. You need to take care of your body with the utmost respect, and exercise is the best way along with diet. Sitting around as much as Americans do is very detrimental to our health as a nation, and that's because we're just a sedentary, society nowadays. Actually, being near the whole world is, most Western European is as well. And according to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, you should do aerobic activities. And it's very important. Like I said again, I must keep stressing this. You need to take care of yourself. Exercise is the key. But you need to do aerobic activities, according to Human Services. You need to do strengthening activities, and you need to spread it throughout a week. And you got to do a minimum of 3 days a week, which is recommended. And exercise is important, but you must remember to take it slow. Don't jump into it too fast. But it's very important for the people to get out there. We've got to get out and get doing this. And it's not that hard to do, to fit time in your schedule to exercise. You really just need to do 30 minutes of activity a day, if you want to do it every day. But if you need to lose weight, you got to up it to at least an hour a day of some strenuous cardio, but nothing too expensive time. Once you start exercising, you'll notice change in your energy and level, and you will even feel better about yourself and in general. As well with exercise, a healthy diet is vital as well. You need to keep trans fatty foods such as French fries, deep fried foods, and you need to also minimize saturated fatty foods such as steak, other red meats, poultry, butter, cheese, and other. According to Fahey, Americans consume 200 to 300 grams of carbohydrates a day. Well, above 130 grams needed, people don't need that much. You really don't, unless you're trying to exercise, get stronger. You just got to maintain your diet. It's very, very important. I keep stressing this, that it's just, you got to look at what you're putting into your body. And food that's high in sugar, like pop, you don't even realize it is very bad for you because it's not complex sugar. It's high sugars is very, very bad for you. But throughout exercise and with your diet, it's very important because that sugar can lead to excess fat, and it's very, very detrimental for you. Leads to multiple health risks, as I said earlier. But through the simplest and easiest steps that can be taken to turn this epidemic and issue around, it's just simple exercise and dieting. And the importance of taking care of yourself should never be, ever be overlooked. And issues related to obesity should never, ever be forgotten. They should be known. People should know this. And it should also be reminded that exercise is good for one's health, emotional health, and personal well-being. You should motivate you and your friends to get out more and do what you need to do to stay healthy.